All right, so normally on these Saturday podcasts, I talk about both the Minnesota Vikings and Timberwolves. I really don't have much to say about the Timberwolves this week on this Saturday's podcast. Realistic Randy of the Mediokr Best Sports Podcast, thank you for tuning in. You've lost 6 out of your last 7. You got smashed by the Spurs by more than 25 points last night. This is just a horribly run franchise. Despite all the talent that they have, they're a bad basketball team. And it's like, at what point, it seems like ever since KG left, and quite honestly, KG was carrying that franchise while he was there, despite how bad they were, because he was a generational talent. Okay, fine. But ever since KG left, it's like every single year they're just a bad team. I'm sick of repeating the same stuff, and I feel bad for the folks that have to regularly cover this team, to where it's like, you're sick of saying the same stuff. Tom Thibodeau needs to go, yet he's still there, and he's running this not even running the franchise to the ground, because the franchise has already been in the ground with Glenn Taylor as the owner. But I'm sick of repeating the same stuff. They're a terrible team, and I'm too worked up over this one particular situation with the Minnesota Vikings. Before I get into that situation, previewing the Detroit Lions game. Okay, so the Detroit Lions, half the team, they're probably already checked out. They're ready to go play golf after the season is over with, or ready to go to their vacation home, or wherever the hell they're going to go after the season is over with. Half of them are probably checked out. Kerryon Johnson, he's been placed on IR, so you don't have to worry about a strong type of running game or anything like that. You pretty much just got to worry about LeGarrette Blount, and you'll be fine. But Matthew Stafford can still cause some problems. This is still a divisional foe that you're going to have to go against. A lot of goofy stuff happens when the Vikings face the Lions, but Matthew Stafford can still cause some problems. They've got quite a bit of receivers there, even though Golden Tate is gone. If I'm not mistaken, Marvin Lewis, he's been out for the last couple of weeks, but hey, this is still a team that you kind of have to worry about as far as the passing game. As long as our secondary is on point, as long as our pass rush is on point, you'll be fine. I know Eric Hendricks is gone, but at the same time, look, Kevin Stefanski, I expect him to draw up another good offensive scheme for this game, and the defense, they'll be fine. You should easily win this game against the Detroit Lions. There's nothing to talk about, but here's what I really want to get into. And before I get into that, let me put this disclaimer out there. I've been accused a lot as far as trying to mimic Stephen A. Smith or trying to copy Skip Bayless, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Anybody that knows me, especially going back into my college days or back in high school days, ever since I've been following this team, the Minnesota Vikings, I love this team, dog. At one point, back when I followed them, when I first was watching Randy Moss, I was that guy, that fanboy that would say, this team is back when I hit puberty and my voice was all pipsqueaky, this Minnesota Vikings team, they're going to win a Super Bowl every year. Stop hating on us. I used to say that every single year, and it just kept smashing my heart. And I was just like, I can't take this anymore. And I just saw them for what they were. Maybe they'll win it before I die. I know that's what they all say. Just win one before I die, damn it. We'll have to see how that works out. But I love this team. This isn't a show about manufactured hot takes. This is really who I am. And people, I've also been accused of, you're trying to get reactions. You're just coming up with all that. I'm not sitting here coming up with manufactured hot takes. This is everything I say on these podcasts is how I truly feel. And the fact of the matter is, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the NFL and be mad at the Minnesota Vikings. If they weren't consistently lobbing up softballs to me, I wouldn't be sitting here just going on these rants all the time. And that brings me to my point. After Tuesday's podcast, and before I record Saturday's podcast, but after Tuesday's podcast, I like to plan ahead and I like to say, okay, what is it that I'm more than likely going to talk about on Saturday's podcast? Same thing from Saturday to Tuesday. What am I going to talk about on the next podcast? I'm still open. Obviously, it's sports. Anything can happen. But I'm still open to the fact that things can change from Tuesdays to Saturdays, from Saturdays to Tuesdays. Things can change. Last week, I wasn't expecting John DeFilippo to get fired. He did. And everything that I came up, all the notes that I came up with, had to ball it up and throw it out there. Okay, fine. That changed, and I did the podcast. Okay, fine. Things happen. Things change in sports all the time. This week, something came up to where I wasn't even expecting it. So I was like, are you serious right now? The Pro Bowl selections. 4 players from the Minnesota Vikings got selected to the Pro Bowl. 1 offensive player and 3 defensive players. Number 1, the offensive player, Adam Thielen. That's obvious. He's one of the best receivers in the league. The last couple of weeks haven't been so kind to him. The offensive struggles. You could point the finger in a bunch of different directions, but he's still on pace for over 1,400 yards and over 121 receptions. That's some good stuff. That was an obvious selection, okay? No sweat off my back. Number 2, Danielle Hunter, 14 and a half sacks. That's second in the NFL behind Aaron Donald, and 20 TFLs. And you can make the argument. I understand if you want to give this to Khalil Mack, okay, fine. But you can make the argument. You can make a strong argument that Danielle Hunter warrants some serious consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. Especially, you know how we talk about MVPs, whether it's basketball or football, what this player had to deal with in spite of, or what they had to deal with to get their teams into the position that they're in for a successful year, in spite of all the crap that they've had to deal with. Consider the fact that Danielle Hunter had, with Everson Griffin being out for how many weeks, this dude had to go from left end to right end and was still dominating and could still face double teams on the offensive line, where Stephen Weatherly would come in and still would just kick ass on the defensive line and on the pass rush. This dude deserves some serious consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. After that, Harrison Smith. Obviously, now, Harrison Smith, you could say he's had a down year on Harrison Smith standards, but still, as far as if you're looking at on an equilibrium scale, still a really damn good year. 3 interceptions, 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 3 sacks, 71 tackles, and 6 TFLs. Okay, he's had a really good year. And before I get into this last guy, a couple of snubs that I want to get out the way as far as some guys that should have maybe been selected to the Pro Bowl. Sheldon Richardson and Linval Joseph. Not to say that both of them deserve to get in, but I'm surprised that not one of them got in. Sheldon Richardson should have got in. If I was to pick between the two, I would go Sheldon Richardson, but I'm surprised neither one of them got in. And Stephon Diggs, I'm surprised he didn't get in as well. But you know what? Guys are going to get snubbed. It happens every single year. Fine. No sweat off my back. And this brings me to the last guy. Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr is going to the Pro Bowl. Okay? His 4th straight Pro Bowl. What do you want me to say, dude? What do you want me to say, man? It's crazy. I've never seen a player get so much praise and accolades and get rewarded to the highest degree based mostly off of hype compared to his actual production. Actually, no, I take it back. Andrew Wiggins is the one guy I can think of that compares, and it's funny, they're actually very comparable. And Anthony Barr and Andrew Wiggins are literally one and the same. They disappear for the most part, and then once in a blue moon, they pop up and they have a Hall of Fame type game. You're like, wow, this is crazy. It's like, if you don't necessarily have to have a Hall of Fame type game consistently, but at least don't go from the super high to the super low for the most part, and then you plateau for a while, like 5 or 6 games, and then, oh, here he comes again. It's crazy, man. This dude, Anthony Barr, got into the Pro Bowl with 49 tackles. We're 15 weeks into the season. Anthony Barr got into the Pro Bowl with 49 tackles, 3 sacks, two of which you got against the Miami Dolphins last week, and 1 in which you got against the Seattle Seahawks the week before. 6 TFLs and 4 quarterback hits. This dude, Anthony Barr, got in the Pro Bowl ahead of guys like Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Demario Davis of the New Orleans Saints, both with over 100 tackles, nearly double the TFLs, more sacks, and double the quarterback hits compared to Anthony Barr. It's crazy, right? We're just giving Pro Bowls to any damn body. That's crazy. We're giving this dude, and now I see all the reports now. Oh, recent play, and look at the recent weeks that he's got, and he's been productive, and all the Vikings, they need to give this dude a contract extension. Are we serious right now? It's great. This has been the story of Anthony Barr. People think I have this personal vendetta against Anthony Barr. I don't. I love this team. You can't tell me nothing. I want Anthony Barr to be successful on this team just like everybody else does. But I see right through him. I see right through him, and I'm not this fanboy that's going to sit here and unapologetically kiss this dude's ass as if he's Khalil Mack. He's not. This has been the story of Anthony Barr's career. Inconsistency. He shows up when he wants to show up. Let's talk about, and we're talking about a Pro Bowl. As far as what you did over the course of the season, this isn't a what have you done for me lately bowl. Let's look at Anthony Barr in this season. This dude has had 3 games in which he was out due to injury, if I'm not mistaken. 3 games in which he was just terrible. 4 games in which okay, he's fine. He was serviceable. He wasn't a train wreck. Congratulations. And 3 or 4 games in which he was really, really good. I'll give him credit for that. The 3 games in which he was terrible, people say, oh, the Rams, that was the only game. That was the only game he was terrible. Are you serious? I'm not even going to bring up that game. We saw that. Gave up 3 touchdown passes, whatever. Okay, fine. No big deal. We're not even going to talk about that. We all saw that. The Buffalo Bills game. When Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken, Josh Allen to put the Buffalo Bills up, I believe 7-0 against the Minnesota Vikings at US Bank Stadium. If I'm not mistaken, to put them up 7-0. This dude, Josh Allen and Anthony Barr, mano y mano. This is the guy, sideline to sideline. This dude is all-world linebacker. This dude, let's just kiss his ass. He can do no wrong. He can do everything. He's so damn important. Let's give him a contract extension, one for the ages. This dude, Josh Allen, went off on the edge, and it was Anthony Barr, the only guy there. And it's not like he had to run from the opposite sideline. He was right there, and he could have made a play, and Josh Allen outran his ass to go ahead to get the touchdown and hit the pylon. Then later on in that game, this dude, Anthony Barr, goes for a tackle on Josh Allen as he's rushing up the middle. And this dude, Josh Allen, gallops over him like a damn horse. Okay, we forgot about that? Oh, and then Green Bay at Lambeau Field. This dude got jacked up by a running back on pass rush attempts and then gave a half-ass, lazy-ass attempt on Davante Adams after Xavier Rhodes gave up a reception to Davante Adams near or if not in the red zone, in which he gave a half-ass attempt to tackle him. And then Davante Adams said, "What are you doing?" Juke past him, ran in for the end zone, 7-0. This dude shows up when he wants to play. That's crazy. We giving out Pro Bowls to everybody? We serious right now? It's crazy, man. And people are like, oh my God, you're just hating on me. Mike Zimmer, Anthony Barr made the Pro Bowl in 2016, the very same year that head coach Mike Zimmer called out Anthony Barr for being lazy. What say you, Anthony Barr fanboys? Was Mike Zimmer a hater too? We're just giving out Pro Bowls to anybody. You know what's crazy? My wife last week gave birth to our first child, a son. I have a son. I'm a dad for the first time. It's amazing. It's exciting. One of the first things my son and I did together as far as father-son bonding time, we watched the Vikings and the Dolphins play each other last Sunday, not necessarily at US Bank Stadium. It was at our house, but they played at US Bank Stadium. That's one of the first things we did together as father and son. That should count for something, right? Hell, let's send them to the Pro Bowl too, since we're giving out to everybody. You crazy right now? That's it. This dude shows up once in a blue moon every single year. Once in a blue moon. And oh my God, let's rent out the Taj Mahal so we can throw out a party for this dude where he can sign his 10-year, $2 billion contract extension, all of which is totally deserved. Man, get that crap out of my face. You know what's funny? I get accused all the time of being a hater of Anthony Barr when all I do is call out this dude's late. And don't look at me. Oh, no, he wasn't bad against the Bills and the Packers. Oh my God. Don't call me a hater. Go back and look at the film. He was trash. So again, just to recap, 3 games in which he was out due to injury, 3 games in which he was awful, just awful, 4 games in which he was okay, and 3 or 4 games in which he was really, really good. Are we serious right now? That gets you to the Pro Bowl against compared to other guys with double the production of him? Oh my God, this is great. The Pro Bowl is a shame. And you know what? To these Anthony Barr fanboys that come at me all the time, it's like, you know what? This dude, Anthony Barr, has like this cult following that will defend him to no end. It's funny because to them, the National Football League is Marvel Universe, and we're acting like Anthony Barr is mother freaking Thanos, this all-world linebacker that can do no wrong. Are you serious right now? And we need to give him a contract extension for what, 3 games? 3 out of 14 damn games? You know what, man? I've seen it all. The amount of excuses this dude's getting. Oh my God, what are we gonna do if Anthony Barr leaves? Who the hell cares? Who cares? And that's what I'm saying. All these teams now, and Anthony Barr, he can line up for a big time contract after next year. All these teams that think this dude is hot stuff, man, if I was a GM, I would swindle the other 31 GMs in the league. Y'all think Anthony Barr is what? Oh, I would have traded his ass so fast. Oh, I guess if we have to make a sacrifice, I guess, do you have an offensive guard? Okay, do you have a guard or do you have anybody on the offensive line, a starting caliber? I guess we'll settle for that. I would have swindled all of y'all asses. That's why I said y'all need to trade him. Trade him. Because everybody thinks this dude is Khalil Mack, and he's not. And this dude got in a Pro Bowl with 49 tackles, 3 sacks that you got yesterday. And again, these other dudes that got double the production and everything else. The Pro Bowl is a sham. The NFL is a joke. This is crazy. We keep going through this every single year. Stop throwing softballs up to me, and I won't have to talk about this anymore. So anyway, beat Detroit. You'll do that. It'll be fine. We do this twice a week now. Mediokr, best sports podcast with Realistic Randy. Oh, Anthony Barr, he's like, man, get that crap out of my face. We'll see you on Tuesday.